On March 12th, 2020, Trinidad and Tobago recorded its first case of COVID-19. Today, it's March 12th, 2021, which means we've all lived 1 year in a pandemic. For us, our newsrooms emptied, with a lot of our reporters working from home. And some of them will tell you what it's been like working as a journalist during a pandemic.
During the pandemic, a lot of sporting events were postponed and cancelled. It was a bit of a challenge, and living in any normal and covering these amazing sporting events with no people. Covering the 2020 CPL last year was very weird. The CPL normally attracts 15,000-20,000 fans at the Brian Lara Stadium and at the Queen's Park Oval. So seeing the cutout fans in the stadium and being in the stands and hearing the players speak very clearly, it was so quiet that I heard the players speaking on the field. It was bizarre, and not seeing all the fans, it was really a strange feeling. In the last few months, sports has been slowly getting back to some sort of normalcy. I've been heading back out into the field and covering events, but slowly but surely we will get back there. But it has been a challenge, but hoping sports resume sooner than later.
Going out on assignment was actually really tricky. I wasn't comfortable with it at first, even with my mask on, even with social distancing. I was not comfortable, but it was something I had to do. We're frontline staff. We had to go out, and there were already so little assignments coming in that when the opportunity presented itself for us to go out, we really had to. So I was on an assignment, and the space seating for the guests, it was all 6 feet apart, but the media had to huddle in a corner to get the shots that we needed, and everyone is looking around at each other like, yeah, this is not safe. We are not socially distanced right now, and everyone is trying to keep to themselves, but it was tough, and there were a couple assignments like that.
No, because I'm on the Sunday desk, I don't usually do daily assignments like the others in the newsroom, so that didn't affect me much. Most of my interviews are usually one-on-one personal. A lot of people were in the earlies, it was like, yeah, stay away from me. And then after a while, I was like, yeah, we could meet once we maintain our distance and whatnot. So that whole stay away from me phase wasn't too long for me personally. The effect for me was the coming to work. Now in the earlies, I even printed essential jerseys and whatnot because I was loving that. The roads were clear. I was reaching to work in like 5-10 minutes. So I used to love that. And then, school started back and I needed to be home and work at the same time. That was the difficult part for me, being a teacher and a journalist. Having to pause an interview whilst on the phone to tell my son, sit down, go back in class, pay attention, stop doing that. He reminds me a lot of somebody else when I was younger. My wife. But yeah, and it wasn't even difficult. It's just that was the only hiccup, if I want to call it that, for me.
I think there are far less assignments that you have to go out to, and so that's a double-edged sword. It could be said you work more efficiently from a phone, but maybe not get the feel and the color of an actual assignment going to it. Also, you may have to employ a bit more creativity on digging out, hunting down people to do interviews, then get the counter perspective. And also, it is nice as a journalist to have one foot in the office and to have one foot out and about on the street. I actually look forward to going out on my assignments, so I do miss that a lot.
Our coverage of whether or not there's going to be a carnival was something that I think really stood out for me, in that we were able to get on the issue right away and identify that as a major cultural element in our society, not only cultural but economic element in our story, that in a pandemic this certainly would have been affected and would be something that a lot of people would want to know about. What was really jarring, I think, was seeing Trinidad and Tobago under lockdown, a society that is usually very vocal, very noisy is not the word, but a society that talks a lot, a society that moves a lot. Seeing Trinidad and Tobago quiet and seeing things not moving was very jarring.
First of all, we had to learn along with the health professionals about what this COVID-19 virus was about. We also had to learn to anticipate what stories we should pursue to help readers understand exactly what we were dealing with. So it required us, even when we were not at work, to be doing research even at home to try to understand what the experts abroad are saying and to try to help guide the reporters in terms of our coverage.
We had to be overly sometimes sure about how we're moving and doing our daily activities, sometimes over sanitizing, staying away from the children at times initially at first, before we got a little bit more information how to be a little safer and be a little closer to them. We had to be a little more creative in some of the things that we do, where at the middle of the pandemic, when people weren't moving around, people were inside, there wasn't much going on, and we really had to come with really great ideas on how to get people still interested in building a paper. So we had to actually sometimes go out a lot more and seek the information and bring it towards you. But it has been tough, but it also has been a challenge, and sometimes in a job you hold on to challenges and you make the best of it and you enjoy it as it comes.